Hey guys, Mike here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to learn parry timings for all the enemies in Final Fantasy 16. So how you do it, okay, so how parry works, and I think most people know this already, is when the active frames of your sword attack come into contact with the active frames of the enemy's attack. But the hard part is figuring out the timing, right? Because there's a very slight delay between when you press the square button and when the actual active frames of your sword come out. So you have to line up your, like I said, you have to line up your active frames with the enemy's frames. So how I go about learning them and how you should too is basically what you want to do is you want to look at, you're looking for a cue that is in sync with your reaction time. So the typical reaction time that most people have is 250 milliseconds. So I'm I'm a pretty average gamer, so I assume my reaction time is like that, and that actual number doesn't matter because what you're looking for is a cue that fits for you, that matches the correct parry timing. So we have Gigas here, and what he has two attacks. He has a side hammer swing and a overhead hammer swing. And so for the side hammer swing, what works for me and will probably work for you because I have average reaction time is when his right foot is about to land on the ground. That's when you press the square button. So let's see if he does it. So right there. So you can see like that. I mean that's what works for me. When he starts to do that move, I ID the move. So it's a horizontal swing, side swing, and I'm like, okay, I'm just staring at his right foot. If I'm planning to parry, I'm just staring at his right foot. And that kind of makes sense too, because like in combat, like a lot of the force generated, comes from the feet first, right? So I find the feet are a really good indicator, especially if they're, they have like a humanoid skeleton. Feet are usually a good indicator or to tell you when the timings are. So for him, it's right foot. So let's see if we can do that a couple times. And then he has one more move. It's the overhead swing. And this one is actually harder to time because there's a couple of reasons. I'll probably make a separate video on the theory on why it's actually harder to, why that overhead swing is harder. Just objectively harder to parry. But the cue that I used for this is to, is when it, I was searching for a cue. It's when he brings the hammer above his head, but I'm looking for the base of the hammer. Not the actual like blade of the hammer, but the base or the rod of the hammer when it reaches its highest point and it kind of just freezes for a very fraction of a split second. That's the timing I use to know when to press the square button. So let's see if we can do it here. I might even mess it up. Okay, so I was I was actually able to get it, and that's the time I use. Like I said, that overhead swing is objectively harder to get, and like I said, I'll in a future video I will explain why it is objectively harder to get that parry. But after you identify for you personally what the cues are, the visual cues. You can use audio cues too, but I find visual cues are the best, and try to stay close to the enemy so it doesn't fuck up timing that much. Because if you're farther away, just the natural distance of your active frames might slightly cause some variance in the timing, or some the timing might be slightly different. So try to be consistent with your positioning with the enemy. That way, so your timings are always consistent and the cues that you used are always consistent. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Hope that helps, and thanks for watching.